Hi everyone! Today is day 3 of our historical fiction read aloud, Riding Freedom. Before we get to the next chapter, I wanted to remind you of what Mrs. Velez taught you about yesterday. That when you're reading historical fiction, it's important to have your notebook ready to jot important information like the who, what, when, where, why, how, and really what's going on. And like Mrs. Velez said, that could look different in your notebook, but as long as you're jotting some important details as you read, it'll help you as you move through the book. Another important thing to do while you're reading historical fiction, which is something new, something different than regular fiction, is keeping track of a timeline. Now, a timeline is something that you usually see in a biography or at the end of a book where you just read about a person and it gives their whole life on one line. It might be going vertical or horizontal, and it tells you from when they're born to when they die and all the important events in their life. When you're reading historical fiction, you should be working with 2 timelines. One timeline is the character timeline. So in our book, Riding Freedom, the character timeline would be Charlotte's life. She's our main character. The other timeline is a historical timeline. What we mean by that is what's happening during this historical time period where Charlotte is living. And that's the research we did last week, right? We learned about the westward expansion, a little bit about the gold rush, the Oregon Trail, women's suffrage, all of these important events that happened around the middle of the 1800s. So I'm going to show you my notebook and how I started my 2 timelines.